that she has to share with us tonight. Thank you, Lindsay, for doing this call, and take it away.
Okay. Hey, everybody. So I know a lot of you, but for those of you I don't know, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story before I get started. I want to tell you about, sorry, dog and husband. I want to tell you a little bit about my story before Beachbody. So in the course of 4 years, my husband and I got engaged. We got married. We moved between 4 different apartments. I went through 3 job changes. He went through 3 job changes. We started to get more and more just student loan debt. I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression and put on medication. After several years of undiagnosed panic attacks, I started dealing with some previously unresolved emotional abuse, and I had dealt with food guilt for a really long time, and I would, binge and starve, and I tried Weight Watchers, and I tried a little bit of everything, and none of it worked. So I had several excuses for not starting Beachbody, as we all do. My first was that I had no free time, which is fair. I'm a middle school and high school band director, and I typically work 10 to 12-hour days just on a normal week, not to mention days that we have football games, competitions, marching exhibitions, honor bands, all kinds of things like that. An 80-hour work week is pretty normal for me. I also said that it was too expensive between trying to pay off student loans and paying car payments and all that other stuff. Everyone has a monetary excuse, and that was mine. And I also suffered from a lot of back problems. I have a compressed L4 and L5, and there were certain types of exercises I couldn't do for a really long time. I couldn't do squats for probably like my first 6 months. And even like lower fix, 21-day fix was my first program, and I could not do the actual lower fix workout for, I think, the first 6 months that I was doing Beachbody. So I had a lot of excuses, but I finally joined, and in my first round of 21-day fix, I lost 15 pounds, and I don't even remember how many inches because I stopped keeping up with those. I still struggled, as we all do. I didn't want to share with my coach, and I was just really embarrassed, and I was just really afraid, as we all go through. But once I let go of that, I fell in love with my challenge group, and then really soon after fell in love with coaching. I still struggled with emotional eating and the scale for a while. It's still something I struggle with, but I've taken control of it in a lot of ways. I used my back problems as an excuse for a long time, but thankfully those are no longer standing in my way either. I can do burpees now, and I can do squats, and I run. I can run a 5K in 33 minutes and 27 seconds, I think, was my time a few weeks ago, and I was really excited about that. And I really just going through a Beachbody program and being in a challenge group helped me a lot, but it really just helped me reclaim my life once I became a coach. So this next part I'm going to call after Beachbody, but before I got my shit together. Forgive me, I'm a little profane. So a normal day after Beachbody, once I started coaching, but before I had my shit together, before I had my ducks in a row, I would wake up between 6 and 6:15. I would leave at 7:20, which was late. I needed to leave at 7, but not making excuses. Jen knows historically a very late person. People say, oh, it's just part of my personality. It kind of is. It's not a good excuse. It's just true. But I was also in a job I hated. When I'm in a job I love, I'm never late. And I love teaching, but I had a really terrible, toxic boss at my last job, and thankfully I'm out of that. But I would leave at 7:20. Late. Thank God I had Shakeology as a breakfast option. Otherwise, I would never eat breakfast or eat anything probably until lunch. I would rush and rush. I would bump into things all the time. I was miserable. I would do my Beachbody coaching any spare minute I had at work, which was not many, to be honest, because being a band director, we teach and we receive money, and we're like an administrative assistant plus a counselor plus a teacher plus a coach, all these other things just wrapped into one. And then on an average night, I would get home between 6 and 7 p.m. I had a 20-minute commute, which really wasn't that bad at the time. But, on special event nights, I'd be getting home 9 to 10 o'clock. And as soon as I got home, all Beachbody. I would go crazy, check in with my challenge groups, message people, invite. Try to put all the vital behaviors into this one really small amount of time once I got home, and I would, eat dinner, do my Beachbody workout after dinner, ignore my husband while I was doing more Beachbody work and saying, oh, it's for work, it's for work, it's for work, because I was trying to bust my ass and get my business together, which is a great idea. But when you're neglecting your family and your friends and your other obligations and even, my day job at the time, which I didn't need to do, I would go to bed between 11 and 11:30 at night, and then I would just do it over the next day. And the result of that was that I would sometimes hit Success Club. I would hit it maybe every other month. I'd have a month where I hit, Success Club 8, Success Club 10, and then I'd have 2 months where I didn't do anything. And that was the result of just sporadic coaching. I would coach my challengers, but other than that, when it came to the vital behaviors, I was just doing it to get by. I was doing the bare minimum. I thought that was what would make me successful, and I thought, I don't have time. The same excuse I used when I started Beachbody, when I started doing workouts, I don't have time. Turns out you have to make time. It's what I always tell my students when they're practicing. It's what I tell my challengers. So why wasn't I listening to that as a Beachbody coach? Lots of reasons, it turns out. It was, I was constantly scrambling. I was really focused on just rank advancement and nothing else, and making money and nothing else. And as a lot of you know, if you've been through that, it doesn't last for long. The flame burns out really quickly, and you got to have something that's going to sustain you. And your why has to be more than, I want more money. It has to be more than, I want to be diamond by this date. It's got to be deeper than that. So it also obviously hurt my relationship with my husband. Technology is enough of a curse as it is, but I was making it even worse because I was using it for my business. And so he started to hate me for it, and I don't blame him, because I was completely wrapped up in my phone and in Facebook and in challenge groups. I was neglecting housework, worse than normal, because I'm not the tidiest person on the planet. And, it led to lots of arguing with us and a lot more stress in my life. And I thought the whole reason I joined Beachbody and became a Beachbody coach wasn't for more stress. It was to help people and to help myself and be the best person that I can be, the best version of myself. So finally, in the past, probably a couple of months, but especially in the past month, thanks to Christy and some other people on our team that have encouraged me, I've started scheduling every free minute I have. Not every free minute, but sometimes it feels like that, because honestly, I don't have as much free time as some people that have a part-time job or work, a 9 to 5. Being a band director is not even close to 9 to 5, not even on the easier days. So now I plan things like crazy, and it is amazing. And I feel like a new person and a new coach. On weekdays, I'm waking up at 4:45, and starting this Wednesday, I'm going to be waking up at 4:30 because I'm doing the Miracle Morning book and challenge group with Christy, but I have kind of started that already before I got the book. I plan at least 2 hours of work on the weekends, sometimes more, sometimes less. It really just depends, but I schedule around my friends and my family and obligations because I need to have those things in my life. I don't have to sacrifice those to have a successful business. And that took me a really long time to understand, because I thought I couldn't have it all, but you really can. You just have to make time for it. I get up at 4:45. I take my dog out and take a leisurely walk, and we used to spend every morning arguing about who was going to take him out. And if he was taking his sweet time, then one of us would be late, usually both of us, because neither of us were morning people. I'm not a morning person. Everybody says that. Truly, I'm not. I'm evil in the mornings when I'm not in a good mood, or just really waking up doesn't put me in a good mood. I don't understand people that wake up cheerful. Teaching has helped, but really what's helped is changing my morning schedule and having that time to myself. And Christy used to post about that, and Jen used to talk to me about it, and I'd be like, you people are crazy. You don't know me. You don't understand. Yeah, no, I was wrong. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. And I'm not a person that likes to admit that I'm wrong, but I'm so glad to have been proven wrong in this system. I push play, get my workout done regardless. I then do some sort of either a devotional or I pray and meditate, or a combination of all of those. I drink coffee out of a mug on a weekday, which, believe it or not, will do a lot of good things for your soul, because I always joke about how I forget what coffee mugs look like during the school year because I never get to see them. I only drink out of tumblers. It's so refreshing to me, and it really just makes me feel calm and centered thinking I can drink coffee out of a mug. Okay, worth it. Totally worth it to me. I check my calendar for daily tasks. I plan at least 2 posts that will add value on my business page, and then I share them on my personal page. But this week I'm starting to up that to 3 to 5. And I do that with lots of different ways. One good way that it just hadn't even occurred to me, and I think Jen might have brought this up, but just using the Team Beachbody blog and going back either with their brand new post that they put on the front page of teambeachbody.com or going into their archives. I mean, there's plenty of valuable stuff on there, and some of it's funny, and some of it is fitness related, and some of it's work. I mean, some of it's recipe related. It's all, it's a lot of valuable information that I really enjoyed going back and reading, and I didn't even think about looking at the Team Beachbody blog. You're too busy trying to hit Success Club. Well, that could add value to someone's life, and that could strike up a conversation, and it's adding value to my life. It'll definitely help someone else. I've really gotten into, I love motivational quotes, I always have, but I was stealing other people's graphics for them. And then when I realized that I was kind of good at it, that I should be doing it myself and put my little watermark on it. And there's some quote that I found, I'm sure, that no one else has found to make, word art with. And now I can share it on my page, and it's unique and it adds value and it's mine. Also, sharing your PD, sharing about being a product of the product. And something that I have been really hesitant about until the past month is sharing posts about who you are as a person. So yes, they want to see the fitness, and they want to see the recipes and the post-workout selfies and all that stuff. But some things I didn't think about was sharing about my personality type. I really am into the whole Myers-Briggs thing, finding out what 4 letters encompass your personality, and I'm an ENFJ or an ENFP, depending on the day. Lately it's an ENFJ, but that sort of thing is really cool, and someone might take that test and find some value in it and then strike up a conversation. I posted the other day, I think last week, or I might have one scheduled for this week, about being a highly sensitive person, and I didn't know what that was till I think probably a year ago, and I learned about it with my therapist, and it taught me a lot about myself, and I realized that's a type of person, not just me. That was cool, and I shared about it, and that might have reached somebody. You never know. Posting about anxiety and depression, which there's this huge stigma around, and I have personally had one about it for me and been really scared to talk about it, when really that might be the type of people that I need to reach, people that are suffering from panic attacks. I had panic attacks for years and I didn't even know. People that go to therapy and it benefits them might be people that I want to reach. And then, of course, posting things that are funny to you and that aren't just Beachbody coaching related. People always talk about add value, add value, add value. And I guess I don't know if I thought good for them, not for me. Maybe it wouldn't work out for me. But since I've started exploring that, it's really just taught me more about myself in ways that I can reach people that aren't just, I'm a health and fitness coach. What can I do for you? On each Monday, I plan out my entire week of posts, and I put them in my calendar, and writing them down in an actual calendar. It's right here. This to keep you accountable. I am all about electronics because they're easier, and I keep, my calendars that you can sync up between every device, and that's awesome. The thing about this is it's just for my business. It can't interfere with so-and-so's birthday gathering on my phone calendar, and it can't interfere with my band directing calendar, and it can't interfere with all this other stuff. This is just Beachbody right here. It's sacred, and I can cross off my list and do every single thing I need to, and that sort of thing is so beneficial to us because it makes you feel so productive, and it makes you want to be more productive. Because when I make a list and I cross it off, I'm like, oh, okay, the next list, let's do that. And then I'm so ready for the next week. This morning I woke up at 4:45. What a weirdo. And was like, I can't wait to make my post for the week, and I can't wait to schedule this. And oh my gosh, and I got to write my calendar and write with my favorite Pilot G2 pen. And these are things that speak to me. So on Mondays, I plan out each week, and then I plan out the next month on the last Sunday the month before. And that's what works for me. I sit down and do it for a couple of hours and just make a general outline. Here is my free group. Here is my challenge group. What's the theme? Make a graphic, all that kind of stuff. And writing it down in that calendar has been just as good for my accountability as having a success partner, as having a coach. And it always has for me, and I guess I just never thought to relate that to my business I don't know why, but I'm so glad that I did. And for everyone who told me to do that, especially people on this call right now, I'm sorry that I didn't listen. I'm listening now, and it's awesome. Obviously, check in with my challengers and my challenge groups each morning. Everyone that's told me to use Streak, thank you for doing that. I'm listening now. For your cold market, it's great because you get people with names that you just can't relate to anything. They may not even have an actual profile picture up. I am now finally ready to start using Streak with all my current challengers and with my warm market, but I spent like 3 hours on it Saturday, and the type A in me was just like, oh, I was obsessed, and it was awesome. And it makes me want to be productive. Like, why did I not think about these things that I use in my, my day job and that I use in my personal life? Like, I have a list over here that's a dry erase board of cleaning tasks because that helps me stay organized and helps me. I don't know if you can see in the background, there's like laundry everywhere. Don't judge that. I'm not disgusting. I'm just cluttery. But it speaks to me in my coaching business, like, being organized makes me want to help people and makes me want to be a better coach. Why would I not do that? So this allows time for that because getting up that much earlier, I have plenty of time and I can just relax and I can think and I'm not constantly rushed. I go live while I'm driving. Judge me if you want, if you think it's unsafe. I pull it up on Facebook before I start driving, and then I have the title and everything, and then I press go live after the last red light as I'm pulling out. And I go live in my challenge group, and I've done that every day for the past month, and done that just to give them their daily challenge, and it's actually been pretty cool, and I think people have responded to it better. And doing that more often has helped me feel more comfortable with things like this, doing a team call, and going live on my personal page. And Jen and I, as Success Partners, have this thing where we went for like a whole month, and every time one of us had something that we needed to go live about because we were passionate about it, we had to tell the other person, like, hey, tell me to go live by this time on this day. And we've been doing that, and it's been awesome, and it's made us better, and it's making me a better coach. And all these things that have opened up for me since I've become an early riser, it's totally changed my business, and it's helped me because Christy and Tawny and everyone else on TDA will tell you that when we were making live videos in one of our Push to Diamond groups, I cried because I was so bad at it and I was so scared and overwhelmed. And I would have never volunteered to do something like this big team call because while I like talking to people, I get really bad performance anxiety. Like, I take beta blockers for it. I did not take one today, and I'm still doing okay. I deserve some validation for that. Tell me later. I'll appreciate it. But all these things have pushed me further and further out of my comfort zone, and you can't be successful until you get out of your comfort zone. And I used to hear people say that, and I would say it to my students, and then secretly I would roll my eyes because I thought it was bullshit, but it's true. Commute, like I said, I'm currently doing the audiobook Miracle Morning, but I listen to Shanti's podcast. I listen to Shalene's podcast. I'm listening to this one podcast called The Psychology of Eating. It is fantastic. If you have ever struggled with emotional eating or you've had challengers that have, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's about more than just emotional eating, but it has been so helpful, and it's opened my eyes, like, for my own journey, but then for my challengers that I just couldn't relate to with eating things, just things surrounding food and their relationship with food. It's been great. Also another one called The Charged Life by Brandon Burchard. There's probably more, but I can't remember them right. Magic Lessons with Elizabeth Gilbert. It's really good. And then after I'm out of the car, I leave my work and I don't do anything. I will check in if I've got a minute. I will comment. I'll share things, like when I'm just chilling on Facebook, if I'm taking a 3 or 4 minute break or during lunch, but I don't do any major Beachbody work at my day job anymore. And it is the most awesome freeing feeling because I'm very intense, and I get where I just feel like if I'm not doing something constantly, that I don't care about it. And that is just not true. It doesn't mean I'm not a good coach if I'm not constantly 100% on as a coach. It means that I'm a person with a life, and I just had that mindset of I've got to constantly be in it or I'm not a good coach. And I used to be the same way about being a band director, and it took me some time to realize that's not true. You're only at your best when you're only at your best for other people when you're at your best for yourself, for your spouse, for family, for whatever. And now I can just leave it and it's done. And it is so nice. I think, look at all the things I got done before 6 o'clock today. And now everything is optional. If I don't do anything else Beachbody related, which I mean, of course I will. I'm going to check in on my challengers. I'm going to share some stuff to my page. I'll come up with another value post, but I can just let it go. I don't have to worry about it. And it is awesome. Why have I not been treating this business like a business? I'm sure there's some of you that are struggling with that as well. So since getting my shit together, I have finally made time to get into my cold market. I currently have a free group going. We started today. I have 18 people in there. I have no idea who they are. It's awesome. They're even participating a little bit. But I don't have time with my cold market because I was really part of it was I was afraid of not succeeding because it's scary. And then you realize how much better it actually is, because if these people say no to you, you're like, I don't care, fine, bye, Felicia, doesn't matter. But that has been great, and that has got me on my comfort zone, and I have been able to make time for it on those, weekend times when I've normally been just trying to play catch up with my bare minimum, which is like my vital behaviors. Now now I can get in my cold market. Well, now I not have time. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, but I've been able to make time and justify it because I'm not constantly rushing and thinking, what have I not done? What do I have left to do? Now I'm thinking, what can I do? And it's really helpful for me. I can now say, like, when my husband and I are watching TV or spending time together or cooking dinner, put our phones away. Totally free of the phone. Put it on Do Not Disturb. Not checking in with my challenge group even. I can put it down, and I'm not worried that my business is going to suffer because I know it's better for my business because it makes me better. Ergo, I'm better for my business and my challengers and everyone that I want to help. My days start calmly and not frantically for the first time in my life, and I'm almost 30 years old. Seriously, my entire life, I have run late and been frantic and freaked out and forgotten stuff and practically hurt myself walking out the door for my entire life. And I never thought I could be the type of person that got up early and had that kind of life. I envy those people. I almost hated them. I was so jealous because I thought that's not me. There's no way I can do that. And one of my favorite quotes is, who are you not to be? And so that was something I should have been asking myself with this getting up earlier and making time. Of course I can be a morning person. Who am I not to be? If I choose to be, I'll do it. And it really is that simple. You're so much better than your excuses. We say that to our challengers all the time, but then when it gets to some part of our coaching business where we're uncomfortable, it's easy to say, well, I'm just not like that. I'll never work out in the morning. And I really thought I never would. And I started it back in March when I did 22-minute hardcore. And now here I am doing Insanity Max 30. 4 more workouts, y'all. 4 more workouts. We can do this. But I'm getting up early to do that. And now, I thought I was the person that would never get up early to do my coaching business and have my cup of coffee and, write my journal and read my devotional. And here I am because I chose to. Duh. It's that simple. Why would you not? Who are you not to be? I am seriously less panicky in the mornings. Didn't even know that would be a thing that I could have in my life. It is awesome to be like, oh, I'm awake. It's 5 a.m. I'm chill. Chill is like not part of my vocabulary. I want it to be. I try. Getting up earlier has helped. I'm finally not at the mercy of my potential customers. I make my schedule. I don't stray from it. I tell them, hey, I'll be back on at this time to answer you. And if they don't like it, well, then I don't want them to be one of my challengers anyway. But they're not going to – what are they going to – you don't have to answer them immediately, guys. Duh. You're probably sitting there like, I know, but I didn't because I felt like if I wasn't constantly urgent that I wasn't a good coach. And that's bullshit. That's not true. I'm able to accomplish more follow-ups, which goes along with that. Working my business, I loved the fun parts and hated the rest of it. And so, of course, it was just a huge chore. And now I enjoy it because I schedule it just like any other part of my life. When I schedule it with my personality and being type A, that means a lot to me, but also knowing that this time is devoted only to my coaching. It's sacred. No one else can mess with it. Nothing else can interfere. It's fun. It makes me feel productive, and I really think it enriches the rest of my life. I make, time for experimenting with more things, like going live more often. What kind of different posts can I schedule? I've studied more about like my peak hours when people that, are, what am I trying to say? When I'm coming up in people's news feeds and when they're looking for my page and things like that. And I'm able to see, I'm just able to keep up with that better and schedule my posts more effectively. I'm not constantly rushing just to get the bare minimum for, like, I've got to get these 4 vitals done. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm getting them done every day without question. And I was before, but I was barely getting them done versus now I'm getting them done almost first thing. Most of the time, I would say 85% of the time I'm getting them all done before 6 or 7 a.m. And then everything else is just additional. And so it makes a whole lot more sense saying you're getting them done and you're having success in your business. Well, you're doing it the right way, not the bare minimum way. I'm way less afraid of inviting because I can't make time to agonize over it. I just know that between this time and this time in the morning, I'm inviting, period, done, boom. Copy and pasting some stuff, sending some hey girls, sending some follow-ups for those 30 minutes, that hour, however long I decide to do it, done. And then I leave it and then I just shut my computer, walk away, it's over. It makes me less freaked out about it because I used to, I think we probably all have gone through that, but I used to hate it. Oh, I hated it so much. And also I can actually spend time forming people in a way that's genuine for me because I'm not going to form someone like you are. And I hope you're not going to do it like I would. And I'm not going to, none of us are going to do it the same way. So it gives me time to do it organically and not frantically. Seeing that word come up a lot. It's helped me just be able to let it go because I can't work 24 hours in a day. And, there are some Beachbody coaches that just hustle, and that's good for them, not for me. I will hustle sometimes and work hard always and work smart and hard. You can do those things at the same time and work efficiently. And that's what I'm going to do for my business. And I'm going to live my life and enjoy it and still be able to help people. So it's made me a better teacher. It's made me a better wife and a better friend because I'm more organized. And like I said, I always knew that in my personal life, but I just had a hard time translating it to my business. I can only control what I can control. So why wouldn't I make that the best it can be? Why would I not go ahead and get up a little bit earlier and be in control of it? Because that makes me feel at peace. Duh. So some tips that I've learned through doing this: use those power pockets when you have them, those pockets of time where you've got 10 minutes, and just sit down, and if you have to, set a timer and say, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm going to do as much as I can concerning this. Maybe it's scheduling posts in Hootsuite. Maybe it's scheduling posts on your business page. Maybe it's for 10 minutes, I'm going to invite, done. And the timer thing really works because then when it's over, I shut the computer and I walk away, and that's it. Plan. Everybody has 24 hours a day. You, me, Beyonce, everybody. So be responsible with your time. It's been gifted to you and you should honor it. And when I realized that that was a thing and I started feeling more convicted about it, like that is a gift to me. My time that I'm alive on this earth is a gift to me, and it's a way that I can help others and serve others. Why would I not be responsible with it? Why would I just expect things to come to me and happen? I wouldn't expect gas to just magically appear in my car. Why would I expect people to just all of a sudden show up and say, I want to do Beachbody and I need to lose weight and I need to find my best self? No, that's not how that works. That's not how it worked for me. Why would it work for anyone else that way? But we think these dumb things and then we know better. So we do better. You have to celebrate the work and not the results. I have been kind of in a slump these past few months with Success Club, but now I've been focusing on being better and getting those 4 vitals in for me and to help others. And I know that I'm going to reap the benefits of it. But even if I don't see SC whatever on my business page, I'll know that it's making me better and it's helping me reach my current challenges better. And it's helping me be more brave and be more efficient. And you have to celebrate the work, not just the results. Because if you only celebrate the results, you're never going to be satisfied for long. And that was something that I can't remember who said it at Summit. Might have been Gary Vaynerchuk, but it really stuck with me. And now it's stuck with me since I've started this whole Miracle Morning type mindset that the work you need to celebrate the work, because you won't always have the results, but you will always have the work, and you will always have the time that you're investing and the work that you're investing, and that matters. If you are hearing me say all this and you're saying, I'm not a morning person, yeah, that's bullshit. Neither am I. I hate mornings. I told you, like, they make me miserable. I will sleep in anytime I can sleep in, any minute that it's possible. That's not what this is about. You have to be a disciplined human in order to be successful in any area of life. You've got to be disciplined with your fitness. You've got to be disciplined with your relationships and your friendships. You have to be disciplined with your finances. You have to be disciplined with all those things. Why would you not be disciplined with your business? And when I finally realized that, even though I feel like Christy and other people have been hitting me in the head with that for a year now, I think, I'm so glad I finally listened, because it's true. If I want good things to happen, they're not just going to fall into my lap. Anybody can hit Success Club those first few months because you're going to be able to reach some people. After that, it's work, and it's a discipline, and it takes that discipline. So if you think that you're just not a morning person, now those of you who are like up at 3 a.m. breastfeeding, bow down. Like, that is amazing, and I admire you. You need to make it work for you. But I'm not saying it's for everybody, but you should really give it a try, because it's super helpful. And then the last thing is stay grateful. That's something that I've always tried to use in part of my life, but really especially my business. Start every day and write down 3 to 5 to even 10 things that you're grateful for every single day. And it's really hard to have a bad day after that, because you always go back to those things that you started your day with. And really, the way you wake up and focus your mind and get your mind right really sets the tone for your whole day. So that's all I've got now that I've rambled for 37 minutes. Thank you for listening, and thank you for having me.
That was actually a really, really good call. I wasn't sure how much I personally would get out of it, because it was you're talking about having a full-time job, but I got so many. It was great. I got a lot of info out of it. I feel like a lot of things anybody could put to use, like no matter what you're busy doing, whether it's a job for 80 hours a week or shuffling the kids around all day long. So I really appreciated that. I thought that was a really, really good call.
Thanks.
And I have to agree with you with the whole morning thing. When you were describing your mornings, it's like falling over things, getting out the door. That's my mornings. And like you, I'm trying to get back on track with the early mornings. I had done it. I mean, when Christy and I got together doing this, she thought I was a crazy person for doing it. And then now she does it and I don't. But thanks to Miracle Morning, I'm going back to that. So I almost want to give everyone like a call to action for your call and attempt waking up an hour earlier and doing some of the stuff in the morning. 1 hour. It doesn't even have to be like your workout. Maybe it's just like your 3 vitals or just personal development or something like that. Like, I challenge everyone to give that a try, because it really does make a difference.
And if you need a book, get the Miracle Morning, and it will show you how to do it.
It is changing my life every chapter. I can't believe it. I really can't.
And if anybody wants the Miracle Worker on Audibles and you haven't already downloaded a free book that was gifted to you by somebody, let me know and I will send you the link and you can get it for free. Because I know I'm listening to it. But yeah, it was a really good call. I'm sure other people have questions or comments because.
Hey, Lindsay, was there an aha moment that you decided this tomorrow was going to be the day? Like, what was the what kind of said, okay, I'm going to go from, I'm starting tomorrow, I'm going to attempt this. Was there an aha moment in your life? I know it led up. I heard all the amazing things you do in life, and I loved all of them. I loved drinking the coffee out of the mug. To me, that is, in my life, essential, to sit and drink it, enjoy it, and breathe. And before my kids come down, you have a little bit different lifestyle than me, but was there that moment where you said either it is tomorrow or, I'm going to continue living a spinning life?
Yeah. So something that my therapist said one time, and some of you may have this personality as well, she called me a plate spinner, and it's someone who juggles a lot, but is good at juggling a lot. And so that is definitely the type of person I am. But I think I went from, my last job, it was very toxic. I had this terrible boss. He was just the absolute worst. I wanted to quit teaching for a minute. And so I kept using all these excuses to not make my business a priority and not get up earlier. But then Jen and I were doing 22-minute hardcore. And so I became a morning workout person because it just was so helpful. And then I've been doing that throughout the summer and all that stuff. And in the past couple of weeks, Christy sent me a voice message and was like, hey, how's it going? I know it's like your busiest time of year because it's marching season, and which is just crazy. And she said, I know it's your busiest time of year. I'm just checking in with you. And I was like, I feel like I can't do this. And I mean, I'm in a great job now. I love my job. My boss is amazing. I'm so happy and fulfilled. But knowing that and then realizing how much I was neglecting my business, which was neglecting me because that's part of what feeds my soul, she was like, so, what can you do? And I was like, I need to get more organized because I know that that's what helps me. And she was like, so you need to start getting up earlier. And she had mentioned that to me last year, like in March or April. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing that. That's stupid. And so I thought, okay, fine. I was so mad, but I knew she was right. And I was like, I'm just going to try it for one day. And I told myself that if I do it for one day and it sucks and I hate it and I'm grumpy and it doesn't work, then I'll never do it again. And I had the best day. I was in such a good mood. Even the bad stuff that happened, I was able to take it in stride. I was more patient. I was more loving at work and with my students, and got home that night and sat down and was like, I don't have to do anything. I've done it. Okay. What? And I was so just able to relax. And at 8:30 I laid down, and by 9:30 I was asleep. And I never go to bed early. I don't sleep easily or well. And that was it after that. Because I gave myself permission. I was like, if it doesn't work after one day, never doing it again. Because this is stupid and I hate mornings. And I'm telling you, I've been telling people about it at work, telling everybody to read this book. Seriously, it is a game changer. I'm a better person.
I love the book already, and just like he said, the morning that changed his life with a jog in the morning. So I can't wait to finish the book. But great, and you're a Spitfire, and you're going to do amazing things in this business. And I'm seeing you for the first time, but I cannot wait to see you succeed in everything you do. Well done, great call, even for me who's home. My morning is usually early, but now I am going to make my morning earlier because of you all. So amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are the working moms that can add their 2 cents here? Because Dana and I are the non-working moms. Anybody?
Oh, me working mom? Yeah, I read that book, and that kind of spurred me on to get up early in the morning. And I was a morning workout person when I was young. And then you have kids, and then you're working, and life is just insane. And so you don't do that anymore. But reading that book kind of opened my eyes, and I don't know, it was very inspirational. And since then, it's kind of pushed me forward in other things. So it's definitely, you think it's not possible, but it is. All it takes is one day. Just give it a shot for one day. And really, if you don't like it that much, you will.
See, I have a question because you said you have a dog.
Yes.
I was doing really good in the morning, especially through the summer when my kids weren't at school because they could just sleep in. Mm-hmm. And then I threw a puppy into the mixture. And now my first thing in the morning is go out, come back in, feed her, go back out again. Mm-hmm. So that's taking a good chunk of my time. And by the time I'm done with her, it's time to get the kids up to get ready for school.
Right.
Where do I find that balance?
So my dog used to be the worst and would never be on a schedule. Now he's 3, so that's totally different than a puppy. But I just started a schedule with him, and so it's been 4:45. I'm going to move it to 4:30 starting on Wednesday. That 15 minutes seems really scary, but I can do it. We can do this. So at 4:45, he gets up with me. I take him out immediately, and it usually takes like 10. I spend 10 to 15 minutes, feed him, and then I'm done. And that's the first thing I do. Put on my workout clothes, take him outside, done. And I can't get him off schedule because then it messes up everything for the rest of the morning.
Right.
I know with a puppy it's different, but routines help. So it could be, just that extra 15 minutes might make it a little bit easier on you.
Okay.
Are you walking him, Karen?
Well, we're on a farm, so I've been letting her loose, but we're having trouble when we take her out in public now because she's not used to being on the leash. So now I've got her back on. I mean, she's big. She's a shepherd.
Right.
And
So I was going to say, why don't you
so she's starting to get really strong.
Yeah.
But I
incorporate
can't
that
just let her out the back door because it's not fenced in. It's a farm.
Right.
Why don't you incorporate that into your morning, your miracle morning, and have that be your PD time? Listen to it.
Sure.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about that. I could stick my earbuds in and listen because everything I do is on Audible. I usually listen to it in the car on the way to work.
Well, there you go.
So I have one other question, Lindsay. You talked about the fact that at the beginning of the week you schedule all your posts. Number one, where do you get your inspiration for a week long of posts? And number two, do you ever get like wow, I want to post about this in the middle of the week, but you've got everything scheduled. So what do you do with that idea?
So I'll save that post for the next week. So I try to do for example, let me just look at this past week and I'll tell you what I did over the past couple of weeks. Okay. So I went on Pinterest and I went on the Teen Beach Body blog and I just kind of looked at other coaches' posts just for inspiration. And so I said that I'm going to pick 3 inspirational quotes. I'm going to pick 2 about exercise. I'm going to pick 2 about recipes, and I'm going to pick 2 about my personality, or I was talking about the Myers-Briggs type thing. And so I just put them all in, schedule them. And if I find something awesome, I save it for the next week. So you're always planning ahead. And you always you're adding posts. I have a folder and a Pinterest board, 2 separate things, like a folder in my Google Drive and a Pinterest board where it's stuff that I'm going to post. And then there's another one that's stuff I've already posted that I can reuse after so much time, because how many coaches just reuse stuff? I mean, when people on this team started bringing that up to me, I was like, oh, right? I mean, it's so smart. So things like that, you can reuse those once a month. No one's going to notice. So I just always plan them in advance. And the Team Beachbody blog, I don't know if you've been on it. I just wasn't even, I saw it there and I would occasionally click on it, but I just never really thought about it. And there's all kinds of stuff. One that Jen posted the other day was 8 different post-workout hairstyles and the different brands of dry shampoo, because that's something we would use as people who are into fitness, and talking about wearing the right kind of workout clothes, talking about intermittent fasting and different types of dieting. And those are things I just didn't think about sharing, but they're interesting to me. Surely they're going to be interesting to someone else. And those are easy because I just take it from the page and link it up. And if you go to the blog, they have it. I just feel like such an idiot because I didn't go on earlier and look at all the different categories, but they have one that's lifestyle, then they have fitness, then they have food, fitness challenges, things like that. So that gives a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, Lindsay, I literally use those all the time. In my groups especially. Today, for example, I used 2 of them. I used the dry shampoo one in one of our fit family groups, and then there was a no-bake cinnamon donut hole things. Did you see those? The Shakeology balls? And the people love that. Especially the people in our health bet that we're doing. They have Shakeology. So they're gonna want that, there's definitely value there. So I think that's such a time saver.
Well, and it doesn't have to be, I think my problem before is I was overthinking it also part of my personality. And so I would think, oh, that's not valuable enough, and that's too simple. And no, like stuff like that reaches out to people. And the dry shampoo thing.
Yes.
That people want to read that kind of stuff. So when I stopped overthinking it and spending hours just, what am I going to post on Tuesday at 8 a.m.? Oh my God, it's a lot easier.
I have a question. How often do you share from your business page to your personal page?
Every time I post on my business page. And I know that a lot of people, like Christy and I have talked about it, and Jen and I have talked about it, and people on every team just have different opinions about it. But the more people talk about using Facebook and getting caught for using Facebook for things that are business related, and that scares me. So I like to do it for that reason. And also it helps me keep track with what's reaching people, what times of day I'm reaching people, what kind of posts people are liking. You know, if it's reaching 600 people versus 900, what's the difference? And I can keep up with that, and you just can't keep up with that from your personal page. So I like that a lot. And it's so easy to just click share, and you can share from there to your personal page, or you can share from there into a group. So to your challenge group, or to a cold market group, or whatever.
Are you posting primarily onto your like page? Like, are the
Yes.
that's what you go to, and then you share it to your personal page?
Yeah, and I am getting more comfortable sharing things from my personal page. I was having a hard time for a long time because being in the band director world, it's mostly male dominated, and so I got really freaked out sharing stuff, like sharing, you know, myself in a sports bra and things like that, and I just didn't want to be creeped on. But I try to make it where for like every 3 times I share on my fitness page, I'll share something Beachbody related on my personal page. And I probably do it more often than that. That's just an estimate. But yeah, I mean, I mostly share from there, and you have to do what works for you and what's going to reach people. And I try to do a little bit of both, but it's mostly from my fitness page.
Okay. I'm trying to find a balance on that one, because I know some people are just shutting down their other, and I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out, what direction I want to go in.
I'm listening to the webinar about Jesse Reagan's training to decide if I'm going to take it, but it sounds like it's the way to go.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? We're coming up on that hour mark, so I don't want to keep anyone too late. I know we all have an early morning tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Who's I want to go to gallery view here. By a show of hands, who is going to wake up an hour earlier tomorrow?
I'm not waking up an hour earlier.
Oh, an hour earlier.
I'm already getting up at 3:45.
Does that include workout time, or are we not including that as like time earlier?
Well, I started like today. I set my alarm for an hour earlier than I normally do. But tomorrow I'll probably set it earlier because I liked being up.
I mean, I normally get up at 5. I'm not getting up at 4 tomorrow. Maybe 4:30 I might try, but not
Just try a little bit earlier, because I was getting up at between 5:15 and 5:30, and so I pushed it up to 5, and then I pushed it up to 4:45. And so I've been doing 2 weeks of 4:45, and then I'm going to go down to 4:30 on Wednesday. So
Karen, you got to read the book. You got to read the book. People want to get up earlier once they start doing it.
Seriously.
What time do you go to bed, Lindsay?
Well, 9:30. 10:30 at the late. Like I went to bed at 11 the other night, and I was still able to get up. I could probably do that once or twice, but I have to have at least 6.5 hours of sleep. 6 hours. Have to have 6.
Well, and I think part of it too, you guys, is like, I know that I'm very successful. If I take the time to get up early, I'm successful if I'm doing business at that time. Like, I get charged by messaging, posting at that time, following up with people at that time.
Yep.
And I have the luxury, because for those of you who work, it clearly is a luxury that I can work out later in the day. So if I know I'm going to be my most productive in that hour with my work, then that's what I should be doing at that time. So I think it's a matter of, for a lot of these people, like Lindsay, I know because we're in a group together, if she doesn't work out at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning or whenever, then she has to do it when she comes home from work. And so that's the motivator there for doing the workout at that time. But if that's not, use it to where it's going to benefit you, not just some sick, I want to torture myself by getting up earlier. What the hell am I doing? What is the purpose of my life? Like, how is it going to work for you so that it moves your business forward? Otherwise you're just doing it. Yeah.
Tawny, your why. Why do you want to get up early? What is the reason that you want to start your day earlier? Lindsay had a big why, that, and goes for anyone. If your why is strong enough to get you out of bed in the morning, it has a purpose. And 5-6 chapters into this book, it's about changing your life.
And y'all, mine isn't business related. Mine is completely personal.
Me too.
Yeah, my intent tomorrow is to get up 30 minutes earlier than I normally get up. And in that 30 minutes, because I get up and then I do my workout. So my intent is to get up a half an hour earlier than that so that I can use that time for prayer, for meditation, for silence, for reading personal development.
You have to read the book.
That, I'm going to do my workout and then start my day.
Yeah.
I my business hours, I leave that for later on in the day because sometimes I leave, and I'm going to leave that like that.
Great.
I want that time to be just mine.
Yep.
I need that time to be just mine.
Yep. Well, and like hearing Christy say that and other people say that, I kept thinking, like, I don't want to sit in silence, and I don't want to, but it is so serene to just think, no one can mess this up for me right now. No one is saying, Miss Underwood, Miss Underwood, Miss Underwood. My dog is not at my heels begging for attention. I'm not doing any, it's just for me. And it helps me think about all the things I have to do and not freak out about them, just categorize my entire day and chill. And it is so nice.
Right. Like Karen, so let's forget the hour. It's day one. Let's show of hands who would wake up 30 minutes earlier. But now, so think about what your morning would be like if you were up 30 minutes earlier. If maybe you took the dog out and you were listening to your personal development and you had time when you came in to just maybe sit down and have that cup of coffee before you had to wake the kids up for school. Like, just think about how less stressful your day would start. Like, it's not even necessarily about squeezing more work in. It's for you to start the day off better.
Yeah.
And then, maybe you'll see, like, in that half hour, this is all I can get done. So maybe you add that other half hour and you get some of your work done. But I agree with Christy, you have to read the book or listen to it.
I'm in the middle of listening to Girl Code right now. And really, personal development isn't a problem for me because I commute 40 minutes 2 ways. So I do personal development Audible the whole way. Most of the time when I take the dog out in the morning, I try to do like a gratitude walk. But I get very overstimulated very easily. So I need downtime in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, because I need to clear my head again. That's just my personality. So, but I'm gonna try it. As soon as I'm finished Girl Code, I'm gonna start this book.
But maybe tomorrow, maybe that half hour will give you that downtime in the morning that you desperately seem to need.
I promise it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll message you, Karen.
In the morning?
I'm going to try it. And I think I'm like, oh, I already get up early. I'm all that. I call it the golden hour. I've called it the golden hour for a long time, like before kid hour. In my world, if I'm awake before anybody in my family, it is the golden hour. It's like that. I don't have a dog. I got 3 kids, 3 boys. It's worse.
Now I got Joey joining me.
I think it's to have a quiet, peaceful house without anybody and if it's 15 minutes.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
Well, I got to figure out what I'm going to be doing come Wednesday, because right now, since Anthony's been working like crazy, he was home today and he's home tomorrow. So I can get up at 6 o'clock and still get my hour, my workout and everything. But on Wednesday, if I want to do my workout in the basement before it's taken over, I have to get up at 4:30. I'm like, all right, well, then I guess I'll just get up during one of my midnight feedings, because I usually feed her around 4. I'm like, I'm scheduling a nap in then.
I have always gotten up. Well, I shouldn't say always. Since starting Beachbody, I've always 90% of the time I get up and I do my workout in the morning, because it just sets the tone for my day. But I love the idea. I'm into chapter 6 of the book. I love the idea of doing, like Trisha talked about, first thing she gets up in the morning and she does prayer. And that's something that I've always wanted to do. I do it in between and here and there and throughout the day, but I would love to just dedicate some time to doing that in the morning. And then, you know, then I can physically read a book like I want to in that time. I always say I want to get back into reading books. I have like 20 fucking books on the bookshelf that I bought that I'm waiting to read that are just fucking sitting there collecting dust.
Yep.
So I'm going to get to read them.
You know, go pray. It'll help you with that foul mouth of yours.
It's never going to fucking change my mouth.
Oh, good God.
Well, listen,
praying. Fucking
Never!
I love you all. But I want to go to bed, so I have my miracle morning.
Yeah, I got to go to bed also. I love you all. Thank you so much for the call, Lindsay. Thank you
Great
so much.
call.
Wonderful. Really
Thank
great.
you.
Amazing.
This will be a good recording for everyone to listen to, and I hope you do another call again for us, because it was great. So really, thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.